You know, I have something that a lot of people probably don't even want to hear. Um, and that is that the reason you are not where you should be or want to be is because you refuse to be alone. You refuse to take the time to be by yourself and get to know you better, work on yourself. You know, I got to a point to where I was around certain people, and whenever something happened, I would put the blame on whoever was closest to me because it wasn't my fault. I mean, I didn't want to take the blame. Um, and so whoever was involved or in my circle, I could point the finger toward them to take the responsibility off me. I'm human. I didn't want to be wrong. I didn't want to feel like it was my fault. But I got to a point to where I realized nothing in my life was changing. I was moving nowhere because as long as I had people around me to point the blame to, I wasn't taking responsibility and I wasn't taking blame. And the furthest that I've ever gotten in my life is after I started to take blame for everything. It's my fault. You know, this is my fault. I'm where I'm at because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, I made that person feel this way because of something I said. I didn't carry through with this. You have to take blame. Once you start pointing the finger at yourself, everything becomes clearer. Everything becomes a lot more easier. Shit start to flow a little bit better in your life. And a reason you find yourself in certain situations and roadblocks and things come up is because you not on the right frequency. You not flowing on the right frequency. It's like a radio station that's not tuned, or it's not in the, proper, it's not on a proper frequency. You have to get better. You have to get along. You have to get to a point to where you're not pointing your finger at anyone else. Let's be real. Accountability is the first step of growth. When you are alone, there is no one to point the finger to. You can't point the finger at anyone. Everything is your fault, and that's a good thing, because once you get to a point to where you can own your mistakes, you take full control over changing those mistakes and making change to whatever you have to make change toward. But as long as you continue to point the finger, you won't grow. I don't know too many people who don't like growth, but a lot of people are in a situation where they're not growing. Got to get from around certain people. You got to, even if you around certain people, take blame. Take blame for everything that you do, everything that you fuck up. Stop pointing the finger at everyone else. Again, me, I'm the type of person where if I can't be around money because I fear that I'm gonna take it, I'm not gonna go work in a bank. If you feel like certain people in your life that you know you could kind of make a scapegoat, you shouldn't be around that fucking person. It's hurting your growth. It's stunning your growth. And let's be real. A lot of people think taking blame is weak, but blame becomes very powerful when you take it. A lot of people don't want to take the blame, though. You want some fucking power? Start taking blame. Start saying it was my fault. I made that mistake. You know, oftentimes when I find myself in arguments or a disagreement, the quickest way to fuse that, to end that shit, is to be like, you know what? I was wrong. That was my fault. Because what could a person say after that? You got certain people that want to pile on, but at the end of the day, you end all that shit and just be like, you know what? That was my fault. Too many people want to, argue with their girl, argue with their significant other. Just say, you know what? It was my fault. I fucked up. And then go from there. If they want to continue to hold that shit over your head, you call them out. But it's kind of, it's hard to fucking continue to pile on somebody who take responsibility. You know, and most people avoid blame because it feels like a weakness. But when you really accept it, it's a strength. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. It means that you are the one that could fix it. You are the one in control. You know, a lot of people feel like they not in control of certain shit. You always in control. But the reason you feel out of control is because you refuse to take blame. You refuse to take responsibility. And really avoiding blame, it keeps you stuck. As long as you keep saying it's my fault, you stay stuck in the same place. Or as long as you say it's not my fault, you're going to continue to stay stuck in the same place. A lot of people love, again, not taking blame, not taking responsibility, because what, it make you look weak. It make you look strong. I know that's gonna go over a lot of people's head, but it's like vulnerability. A lot of people think that shit make you weak, but it makes you strong. If a lot of people can't do it, that's a strength. It's like being positive. A lot of people are negative, so if you could remain positive, that is a strength. A lot of people might call you corny or cheesy or whatever, but a lot of shit that people deem, you know, a weakness is actually a strength. And they wouldn't know that because they don't have that strength. They don't have the power. And let's be real, growth only starts. It only starts when you say, it's on me. It's my fault. I fucked up. That's when you really start seeing certain things change. I literally went from, you know, every relationship I was in, I'm a like argumentative, excuse me, I'm like an argumentative motherfucker sometimes, and I used to be, hated being wrong. And even with females, because it's like, yo, hold up. In my mind, it's like, you gonna continue to tell me how I was wrong 4 years ago. You gonna bookmark this. So I looked at it as a weakness, and a lot of them relationships didn't last too damn long, because it's like I was the damn near a woman in the fucking, like, I was acting like a bitch damn near, always had to have the last word, always had to be right. But at the end of the day, it's like, once I moved on in life, start having different relationships and start taking responsibility for when I fucked up, all my relationships last way longer. So it's a power. It really is. Taking responsibility builds self-respect. You know, the moment you start making, the moment you stop making excuses and face the truth, you really start building confidence, clarity, and direction in your life. And as long as you continue, again, to point the finger, say it's somebody else's fault, you will be stuck. Don't sit here and say you got bad luck, or nothing is working in your favor, and just take responsibility. Let me know in the comments what you think. Send this video to somebody who could use it. Say it's my fucking fault. I did it. And watch how things change. I love y'all. Deuces.